And Yanni Pappas will be speaking to you on our social studies program.
Hi, I'm Yanni Pappas. I'm an 8th grader here at Sacred Heart, and I've been at Sacred Heart since kindergarten. I have a sister, she's in 12th grade now, and she's getting ready for college. She actually just got her first acceptance a couple of days ago, so we're all happy for her. Awkward clapping. In intermediate school, the 7th graders take a civics class, and then when you go into 8th grade, you have world cultures. 9th grade, you do a continuation of world cultures, and then in 10th and 11th grade, you do world history. Being in 8th grade, I've only done civics, and I'm currently taking world cultures. However, I had a brilliant time in civics last year. I remember it very vividly. One of the things I really enjoyed last year in civics was when we wrote letters to the editor. My teacher, he instructed us to write letters to the editor, and then he'd give us extra points if we got them published. So I did not think I was going to get mine in, but I did, so I'm very proud of myself. But it took a couple of old colony memorials till it did come in, but it got it. Another letter we wrote was a letter to a politician, where we'd look up the politician online, look at their platforms, their planks, and their ideas, and then our teachers sent them out through the school. I know a couple of my friends sent them to the president, and he did reply with a formal letter. However, I did not get a reply, but apparently my politician was too busy to reply. Anyway, other than writing letters in civics, we've also read the book, The Circuit, which was about Mexican immigrants who were illegally crossing the border to make a better life in America. And it was really interesting to see the point of view from a young immigrant and how his parents were kind of bringing him through it. And then along with that, we studied Ben Franklin, and to combine those two projects, my teacher had us write an essay on the similarities between Ben Franklin and a young Mexican immigrant, and how they both chased the American dream. You might be thinking, like, how in Pickle's name are they related? But they are. And I actually had a great time writing that essay because it was really interesting to see how two seemingly different people from separate time periods really kind of came together in the American dream, and in the same essence, how we all come together to chase the American dream. In civics, we also did an election and mock trial. The election was to become the intermediate school of nothingness. We all had to make our own political parties. We gave speeches, we made posters, we had to canvass the then 8th grade to vote for us, and that is harder than it may seem. Everyone was giving up cookies, bribery was there. But it was really interesting to kind of go into the election process. And then for the mock trial, we were giving a case with the facts, and then we had to either be a prosecutor or defendant to either prosecute or defend the defender, and then the rest of the class was the jury. So that was a lot of fun because it kind of gave you a look at what courts do today to settle disputes. My favorite project that I did in civics was definitely the game of life. It all started when we were to pick jobs out of a hat. I was some sort of employment person that made a comfortable $40,000 a year, except that excitement is short-lived when the person sitting next to you becomes a doctor who makes $115,000 a year. The game was that each week would be 5 years, and we had to deal with like mortgages, paying off our car, all daily expenses, utilities, groceries, and we had to all factor that in. But first, we had to see how much the taxes take out of our salary. And to see how the different states kind of some took more, some took less. So let's just say I ended up in Tennessee. So that was a lot of fun, and after 3 weeks, we started getting the hang of it. So our teacher said we had to move back to our hometown, because apparently we missed our parents. So I personally don't see why my parents couldn't come to Tennessee. Tennessee is awesome, just so you know. But so I ended up in the cheapest house I could find in Plymouth. It was a permanent trailer. so, so from that project, that was a really great project. The thing I think I learned from that project the most was that it's quite improbable to try to own an emu if you're living in a small condo in Tennessee. Well, there, my dreams are crushed. But what I really learned from that project, it was a big eye-opener and kind of gave us a taste of what our parents go through every day to raise us. They have to keep up with all these taxes, money, and it was a big eye-opener, and it made me appreciate my parents every bit more. So I really love that. In World Cultures this year, it's really interesting to learn about all the ancient civilizations. One great thing about the iPad we're using in World Cultures is that our book is actually on it, so we do not have to lug around that giant book everywhere. Another great thing is a neat app my teacher showed us. It's called Poplet. It's like a graphic organizer, and we had to make one on the different civilizations of Mesopotamia, and then we also did one on the different kingdoms of Egypt. So that was a lot of fun. And another thing in World Cultures is we do news articles, and we have to find a news article that relates to what we're doing in class. So it's really interesting to find, like, we're studying ancient civilizations, and then you find a parallel that relates to what we're doing, what's really happening in the world. So that's a great thing. In World Cultures, a couple of things we're gonna do is the archaeological dig, where you dig up artifacts and you document them, describe where you found them. And then another thing is we're doing Christmas around the world. We're putting a mock trial on Socrates in Paris, and we're also studying the ancient wonders of the ancient world. There's also great field trips, like the 7th graders go to the Tea Party Museum, and I know a couple of others include the JFK Library and the USS Constitution and Freedom Trail. Also, the History Club, which my friend, I know she enjoys it a lot, is they go to places with historical reference. Some places they've been to Salem, they've been to the New Bedford Whaling Museum, and a bunch of other cool places. And it's a great thing because it's student-orientated, so the students decide where to go, and the teachers go as chaperones. I really truly love Sacred Heart, honestly, I'm not kidding. It challenges me to go to my full potential, and then to do my best, and then it challenges me to go to a step further than that. I'm glad I'm here, and I know I'll stay here till the 12th grade. The teachers are amazing, they are willingly helpful, they are just great. I can't tell you more than that. So I hope you decide to come here too, because I want others to experience the brilliance that Sacred Heart has in store. I know the speech was awkwardly long, but I'm done.
And Yanni's only been here a year and 3 months. That's just a sample of the social studies program. And I'd like to ask Avery Dwyer to come and speak to us on our world language department.